So hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Amesie's Corner. How are you all doing out there? So today I have something pretty special to show you, and it's something I've never seen before. Now you're probably going to guess from the title what it is, but it is a 2000 Jeep Cherokee export vehicle to the Japanese market. Oh yeah, right-hand drive, fender blinkers. Very, very European. The whole 9 yards. This was a vehicle built in America, shipped to Japan, drove around the island of Japan for who knows how long, and then was shipped back to home country to where it belongs, to be a postal vehicle. And it looks like this comes from Postal Pete's, sells postal Jeeps. I like when what they do is in the name of their business. I like that, simple. But yeah, I have never ever seen a Japanese market Jeep Cherokee or Jeep anything. I did not know that this was something that was done. Now obviously postal Jeep, this has probably been imported to be a postal Jeep, and I think it's interesting because I have never in my life driven a right-hand drive vehicle. Never driven it, never even sat in one. And it is, if you've never sat in a right-hand drive vehicle, just to sit in it feels wrong, just feels weird. I haven't driven on the road in this thing. We'll be taking this thing for a road test shortly. We'll take a good look around it. We'll throw it up on the lift and see what's different and what makes it tick, and then we'll go out for a nice road test. And I'm really not looking forward to the road test. I just drove this around the building and in the door, and in doing so, I got in the wrong side of this thing 5 times. Yeah, 5 times. I just kept getting in the driver's side, the passenger side, the wrong side, the left side. And yeah, I did go for a little road test around the block with the tech of ours that was working on this. This one didn't necessarily land on my bay. The Willie over there got it, and we went for a ride around the block. And when we stopped and parked it, I put it in park. It's just natural habit. Put my right hand down, put it in park, even though I was in the passenger seat. So let me grab my trusty filming flashlight, and let's take a look inside. Now there's some interesting oddities about this vehicle that kind of strange, kind of strike me as odd. I mean, other than the obvious. So yeah, you get in it from the right side, and yeah, that does not feel correct. But now we look down, we can see Japanese script all over, stuff for the shifter. A lot of regular English stuff. A lot of stuff really didn't transfer. One thing I find weird is the odometer in this vehicle. The odometer is in kilometers. The speedometer is in miles per hour. And all the gauges are in the Celsius scale. Kind of a weird melange of units of measure to be in one vehicle. Why would they? I don't get why they couldn't change the speedometer to kilometers, but the odometer can. Weird, just weird. Alright, is the hood pop on this side, or is the hood pop on the other side? Hood pop's on this side. So under the hood is going to be the tried and true, done it forever 4-liter. Yeah, a big old straight 6 4-liter. That's in a lot of Jeeps. Man, they really got their money's worth out of that vehicle. I think they were using that up into what, 08, 09 on some of the Jeep Cherokees, Grand Cherokees. Now you'll notice everything's reversed. The brake booster, the steering shaft down there, it's all swapped side to side. I did not know that they ever made these Cherokees to be right-hand drive, and to look under this hood just looks so different to me. It looks really, really foreign. Another weird thing, we got Japanese script on some parts, we got English on other stuff. Strange that they didn't just translate the whole 9 yards, but no, it is what it is. So right-hand drive aside, this thing is a really clean, really great condition Grand Cherokee. One thing about these Jeeps up here, the Grand Cherokees, I keep calling it Grand Cherokee, Cherokees and Grand Cherokees, they of this vintage, this age, they just rotted out real bad. They didn't really last. Very rare nowadays to see one of these riding around on the roads up here. But you know, back in the early 2000s, they were everywhere. So why don't we get this thing up on the lift, take a look under it, because it is a pretty cool tried and true all-wheel drive system. You know, they're definitely a little more capable than some of the late model SUVs that are out there, and people love making these things into off-road vehicles, lifting them up and all that. So yeah, let's get this thing up in the air, take a look under it, and then we'll take that road test that I'm kind of looking forward to, kind of not looking forward to. All right, guys, let's start at the back at this one, because that's going to be just like all the ones I'm used to looking at. So, gas tank in the back, not really the best place for a rear end accident, but I guess they didn't care back in the early 2000s. Drum brake rear end, Dana, what's that, a 35 in these? They put 35s front and rear in these, I believe. I apologize, I'm not the biggest Jeep guy in the world. I do appreciate them though. So first thing I notice, it's dirty under here. A lot of dirt. I wonder if this is Japanese dirt. Don't know. But no rust. No rust to speak of. Wow. Wow. So yeah, Dana 35 front axle. Forgive me if I got it wrong. I don't think so though. And your typical all-wheel drive system. Transfer case to transmission to transfer case. Goes straight back to the rear, kicks it off to the left, just like pretty much every other vehicle in the world does. Multi-link suspension in the front, 4-link or 5-link. 5-link, yep. No, 4-link. 4-link suspension. I would have thought this would have had a... Oh yeah, it does. There's a panic bar right there. That's what I was looking for. So everything looks the same as a regular Jeep, except all of this is on the wrong side, and that's because the steering box is on the right. Typically that steering box would be over on the left, and everything would be swapped around. I wonder if anybody out there knows, there's the AC compressor on the left. I don't see how that would fit with the power steering box. I wonder if the pulleys are all, or the accessory belt drive is all reversed as well. Interesting. Very interesting. Everything else is just as it would be on the Cherokees. In the rear with its leaf spring. I thought these had a multi-link with coils in the back setup. I guess not. I haven't actually been under one of these Cherokees in a long time. I actually had an ex-girlfriend who bought one of these brand new back in '98 when we were together, and I remember this when it was brand new, or one of these when it was brand new. Looks like a lot of new parts, a lot of new ball joints. I think we did that maybe. Like I said, I wasn't the tech working on this one. This was the guy Willie behind me, really good tech, and he's kind of a Jeep aficionado, as it would be. So yeah, I mean, everything reversed in the engine bay, but everything else just a tried and true Jeep Cherokee. I tell you, I do like these. I do like those fender mounted blinkers. I think every vehicle should have been made to have those. Those are for the people beside you in traffic. Say you're going down the highway and there's two vehicles driving side by side, and one of them wants to switch lanes. Well, you're not necessarily going to be able to see the front and rear directionals light up, but you'll see that, and that way you can honk your horn or get out of his way if they're coming towards your lane. I think those are a great idea. It's a European thing. All my Saabs have had them, and looks like all the Euro Japanese cars too. So why don't we get this thing down, and over here, why don't we get this thing down off the lift and go for the road test. That ought to be interesting. Like I said, so I said I've gotten in the wrong side of this thing 5 times. Well, when I went to go drive it and put it on the lift, make that 6 times I got into the wrong side of the damn thing. All right, let's get this thing down and out on the road. It ought to be an interesting, scary drive.
There are a lot of things out there that will make your heart beat faster. This is one of them. Jeep Cherokee. With full-time select-track 4-wheel drive and quadra-link suspension, it's sure to quicken anybody's pulse. Now get Jeep Cherokee with all these features, including air conditioning at no extra charge.
Damn it, again. I guess I'm just never going to get used to that. so ingrained into just getting in the left side of a vehicle. I just cannot walk up to this thing to drive it and get in the right side. So first off, it feels wrong. It just feels so wrong to me. Now I've driven some weird vehicles, and some vehicles that maybe weren't working like they should, weird pulls or weird shimmies or something. I've driven some weird vehicles that felt wrong. This just feels wrong to me. I keep going to shift it. I'm reaching over here trying to grab the windshield wiper control. It's a weird feeling to be on the other side of a car. I know it's not something a lot of people ever get to experience, and I know at some point in my life, in my career, I'd have to come into contact with a right-hand drive vehicle, but man, I didn't know, I wasn't prepared for just how strange it is. Now, this is a really nice 2000 Jeep Cherokee. This would be, what, the limited model? They got badges on the doors, but the text is faded off from time. But yeah, all of this console stuff, I believe, and this leather interior is kind of a limited special, kind of rare edition, especially over here. And it kind of makes sense. Why would you bother importing a vehicle like this and spending the money to ship it across the ocean to do it with a strip or cheap model? I guess it makes sense. What's the difference? They cost the same to ship it. You might as well spend the extra dough on the limited. So anyways, yeah, I'm kind of stalling, if you notice. Usually we take off and drive by now, but I'm not really looking forward to being out on the open road with this thing. I know when I went on that road test with Willie, it just felt really weird. And I noticed he was way more right than you normally would be. But anyways, on with the show. So, feels weird shifting with my left hand. I can imagine a manual transmission would just really feel weird. Oh man, this is really a test of my automotive spatial awareness skills, I'll tell you that. Oh man, turning right onto the road. Oh man, oh my god. Well, it's not quite as strange as I thought it would be. The first 10 seconds were kind of terrifying, but this drives like a normal truck. Just everything's on the other side. Now, it's obvious why these are imported for the Postal Service. That way they can drive down the road facing the correct way and shoot the mail out the window right into the mailbox. But there are a lot of other safeguards. There are a lot of other safeguards to being on the left, driving on the right, and all of that this kind of circumvents being on this side. So, you know, usually it's right of way, not left of way. So you just got to remember, even though I'm on the right of the vehicle, it's still right of way, not left of way. Wherein usually the people approaching you from your left would have the right of way. It's a little different. It feels a little different. Man. Now I can tell that I'm a lot closer to the right side, to the shoulder of the road than I normally would be. But it feels normal. I guess you just kind of have to correct yourself and go down the right, kind of bias to the right in the lane. I've heard tales of people going to drive-thrus and going in backwards. I'd love to try it, but not today. I'm going to be on the clock. I'm actually in real early, and I got to get back and do some work and fix some cars. It's not all about the video content, but it drives like a Jeep. It drives like I remember the old Cherokees driving. Feels just like it, except I'm kind of my left arm's a lot more comfortable. Just feels mighty strange. I hear a lot of tire noise in this. Those choppy, those luggy tires on those custom wheels are a little loud in this one, if you can hear that. Nothing to worry about. Oof, passing big vehicles on the other lane coming at me, man. Alright, let's take my hairpin corner. I'm not actually going to take it fast, so this isn't a performance vehicle. Boy, it feels weird. Real easy to make that hairpin turn being on this side, though. You really cut it real tight. You can see where that shoulder, the soft shoulder, begins. Good power from the 4-liter. There's always good power from good torquey motors. As reliable as the day is long, as reliable as this feels weird to drive. So, and as you can see, we'll do a little let's do a little practice mail delivery here. So you can pull up to the mailbox. This is what it feels like to be a mailman. I've always wondered what it feels like to be a mailman. And there's the mailbox, and you can get the mail right in it and get out of the way of traffic. Pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, mailman for a morning. Wow. Definitely fun. It's never a dull moment at work. Never know what I'm going to come in to see. You know, it could be an old 60s muscle car. It could be a rare European something. It could be a Japanese import market Jeep. You never know what you're going to see on Amesie's Corner. I never know what I'm going to come in the morning and find on the lot to go take a ride and show you guys. Never a dull day. On that note, never a dull day at the shop. Man, we are so busy at the shop. I want to apologize to all my subscribers and all you new guys. Welcome to the show. I typically post a lot more often than I have been this winter. I just have a lot going on at home. I have a lot going on at the shop. I have a lot on my mind, a lot going on. Lot. Life. And we'll be bumping up some repair videos in the spring. We'll be making a lot more adventure stuff. So stay tuned. Amesie's Corner is going to see a lot more cool stuff coming through. And a lot more adventures planned for the upcoming season. This is my rattle road. I use this road to listen for squeaks and rattles, if you guys can hear anything going on through the speaker there, through the mic. But boy, the Jeep just takes it nice. Takes these bumps real nice. Even though solid axles and all that, they're not too bad. Speaking of solid axles, is there any vehicle sold in the States now that has solid axles that isn't a full-size truck? I don't know. I don't think that anything does. I think everything's got independent suspension and a little bit of ABS kick when we come to a stop. All right. Oh, it feels weird pulling out a different one. When you're driving down the road, you kind of get used to it. You get used to being on this side. But then when it comes to changing lanes or making a turn or something, man, that just feels weird. It just feels weird. I can see that if I drove this for an hour, it'd probably be second nature and it wouldn't even be a problem anymore. Just in this short road test, I've completely adapted to it. Now it's just a weird feeling, not a feeling of horror. Although passing traffic, getting by oncoming traffic is definitely a little weird. Definitely feels a little weird. Gotta maybe bias myself a little too much to the right, but looks like we made it back to base, guys. All right, we got to get this thing released to the customer and yeah, get on with my day. Well, all right, guys. Like I mentioned, we got a lot more coming down the pipeline on the channel. I'll never ever stop making YouTube video. I went for my right hand. I went to go put it in park with my right hand. I'll never stop YouTube. I'll never just quit YouTube, even though I might slow down now and again. It's just because, you know, I have a life and a job and a family and all that. Well, anyways, guys, enough chibba-chabba, enough chit-chat. That was a fun drive. It was definitely a weird experience and woke me up this morning. So on that note, guys, and until next time, keep it out of the cabbage.
Oh, let's go see if he does it again. Yep.